June 27th, it's 31 years since Jodi Huisentruit was abducted on her way to anchor the morning news at KIMT in Mason City. Caroline Lowe, longtime investigative reporter in the Twin Cities media market, TV market. I remember, I've known you for a long time, Caroline.
A long time,
yeah,
too many years.
Too many years, yeah. And you have been working with Find Jodi now for how long?
I joined after I moved to California, so about 15 years now. It was co-founded back in 2003 by Josh Benson and Gary Peterson from your old station, KAAL.
Well, that's right, yeah. So this event tomorrow, you're in Mason City now because tomorrow you gather in front of the KIMT building right in Mason City to mark this anniversary. You know, a somber day. You know, what is all involved in what you plan to do tomorrow for the anniversary?
Unfortunately, we've been doing this for too many years. We really felt last year on the anniversary, it was the 30 years, and we was very emotional. And I said at the end of that one that I hope that this year we would be in Long Prairie, Minnesota, where Jodi's from, and it would be her family organizing it. But what we do here at Find Jodi is every year we organize a small gathering with people who were close to her. We will also be live streaming it on Facebook. So because it's so small, we invite people to tune in at 11 o'clock Central. And we have a flyer I'll show you. We are asking people to post the flyers on their social media, hashtag Find Jodi, and to leave a light on this weekend, whether a porch light or a candle, just to light up your neighborhood, just to keep Jodi in their thoughts, because we need that one person to finally come forward and help solve this case and bring Jodi home.
Yeah, and you know, again, 31 years. A few weeks ago, Jodi would have turned 58 years old.
Exactly.
Billboards went up a few weeks ago also, again, to mark this another year gone with no answers. How do you feel in terms of, you know, I'm sure you could answer this question 1,000 times over the years, but I mean, how much optimism do you feel that the answers may be coming sooner than later?
Well, I would still tell you the truth. My hope ebbs and flows, but I go back to Jacob Wetterling's case that you're so familiar with in Minnesota, and I never imagined that summer before Jacob was found that there'd be a break, and sure enough, there was a huge break. And after all those years, it took a fresh look at the case. It took finally a confession from Danny Heinrich, someone who never left the area. And that's part of why we keep focusing so heavily here in Mason City. We started the billboards on Jodi's 50th birthday 8 years ago, and we just hope that somebody who either is involved in Jodi's abduction or maybe somebody who's talked to that person that will prompt them to do the right thing. And Jodi's family doesn't harbor any hope of ever seeing her, but they want to have what Jacob's family had, finally, a chance to say goodbye and move on.
Yeah, and answers to those unanswered questions of what happened and who's responsible. You know, in last year to mark the 30th anniversary, there was a docu-series on streaming video that raised some other questions about some other potential persons of interest. There's this private investigator that we spoke to a few weeks ago who said he's got some new information that he's bringing to the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation. What do you make of all these various other pieces of information that have been out there in the last year?
Well, we're grateful for everybody continuing to shine a spotlight and dig. The bottom line is we've been through this so many times. Like in the Hulu series, there was a name that was new to the public, but we had actually at Find Jodi, before I joined, had heard about it 18 years ago. And that same person who came forward had gone to police back then. So we really have to measure hope. We've heard a lot of predictions, and particularly with the internet, a lot more gets covered, takes off publicly. But at the end of the day, it's largely speculation or information we have not confirmed, and that's what we stick with. We just put out there on Find Jodi what we can confirm ourselves. And at this point, I'd say there's a lot of hope. Here in Mason City, you can feel nobody's forgotten Jodi. You know, they see the billboard, and I said, I just wish that billboard were Jodi in the Twin Cities anchoring a newscast up there. Not a billboard of Jodi reminding people she's missing. But as long as Jodi's missing, we hope to keep her presence here in Mason City. So maybe somebody driving by will just know that we're not going away.
Do you feel like in a lot of these cases too, I mean, you've had a lot of experience with these criminal investigations, that there are people out there harboring secrets, and at some point you just hope that they say, I don't want to keep this a secret any longer?
Exactly. And I've seen killers give it out. I interviewed Paul Stefani, you may remember, this weepy voice killer in the Twin Cities. A few weeks before he passed away, he came to authorities and admitted to not only the crimes he was convicted of, but he brought up another one that for years people thought Kathy Greening had focused on the woman's husband, and that husband had nothing to do with it. So you hope it's not too often that killers do that or abductors do that, but I've seen other relationships change where somebody feels safe because maybe somebody's in custody. They're not a threat anymore. And then somebody does the right thing and comes forward.
I mean, is there always a possibility, too, that the only person with secrets was the person responsible, and maybe nobody else does know anything, and if that person maybe isn't alive anymore, then maybe those secrets have gone to the grave with the person responsible? I mean, that's a possibility, too.
That's true, and we saw, I think there's a thinking with a lot of people that everybody tells somebody something, but we know that's not always the case. And back to Jacob Wetterling, Danny Heinrich never told anybody. I interviewed his brother multiple times, and they believe that he did not know. But it took reopening the case, taking a fresh look at some people back in the early days, getting that DNA hit years later, and then finally Heinrich being charged with another unrelated crime, and then he made a deal. So it could be something that takes that kind of a twist, but you have to keep the options open for anything.
All right.
I hope it's somebody that told somebody something.
Yeah. So again, asking people to leave a light on or light a candle this weekend to remember Jodi Huisentruit, and by turning the lights on to remind people that she's still missing. And again, if people want to watch the stream on Facebook tomorrow, where should they go at what time?
11 o'clock on our Facebook page, Find Jodi. And I'll also show you, we have a flyer, a new one this year. We've updated, and similar to our billboards, you can go to our website, wherever you are in the world. You can download it, hashtag Find Jodi, or put it up in the community. We'd like to see them. We've put up a number of them in this area in northern Iowa, and I'd like to continue to see Jodi visible around here.
All right. Caroline, good to speak to you as always.
Thank you very much for helping to keep Jodi from being forgotten.
She never will. Thank you so much.